Recording this meeting now. So
Cool.
this Dash Check 2, what we'll be doing is we'll be going over the integrations that were set up during the operations and accounting install, just making sure that those are currently working correctly, and then we'll be all set. So first, we will start with Exact Analysis. Do you have any jobs in Dash that are linked to Exact Analysis assignments?
Yeah, they should all be. We don't really get like I've got this one unlinked reading, but well, so there's a question. How do I unlink this one? Because I want to.
Okay. So what you do to unlink a job, you just come down here to this linked assignment information, and you click unlink. Yeah, that drop down is where you'll then be able to see it.
Get a
Okay.
screen capture there. That's Melissa joining us.
All right. Hi, Melissa.
Morning.
All right.
So this would be how I unlink this one. Once it's unlinked, I can delete it or retire it.
Yeah, you can close it. If you don't plan on working this job, you can just unlink it and close it. You can delete it. We don't recommend you delete, but if you know you're not going to use it, then definitely do that.
Okay.
Go ahead. So when sending, when you get an assignment from Exact Analysis, you go to the assignment and click, export to Exactware or export to Company Dash. So once you do that, just click on any of those.
I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
Yep, they've all been exported.
So once you've clicked that, it will then show an accept job. So if it is a new assignment, you have yet to create that job in Dash, you'll just come to accept job, click view accept. That would then bring you to the job creation page, have that customer information already filled out. You would just select a division, enter any additional information like participants if you wanted, and then click save. Once you click save, that job is then linked to that assignment. If you get an assignment, but you've already created that job in Dash, so you create the job in Dash and maybe a few days later you get the Exact Analysis assignment, what you'll do instead of going to accept job is you would just come here and you would click link job to assignment. So this one's already linked, but you'd click link job to assignment, and then you would just select the exact assignment from here. That way you're not creating, a duplicate job.
Right.
And then,
so
go ahead.
We have a situation that I'd like to rectify, hopefully. Is now the time you want to run through your stuff and then get to those questions, or how do you want to handle that?
Sure, you can go ahead and ask now.
Okay. So in Exact Analysis, if we take, let's say, let's get back here. This is a ladder assist. So on this job, you notice it's for Alacrity, Allstate. We have already synced it. So if I go look for this in Company Dash, let's see if we've created a job yet. The results, okay. So it's going to be.
Try clicking the magnifying glass and see if you can search there for. Okay.
Reference
I would just see if you can search for the customer name.
Okay. We probably haven't converted it yet.
Okay. Doesn't look like it is
So
there.
so it's going to be in here, right? And so in this scenario, we are actually billing Alacrity Allstate. So
Mm-hmm.
we're going to bill them anywhere, from depending on the services provided. $100 or $180, and we're also going to pay a technician. So when I select this is my issue. We need to keep that Alacrity Allstate as the customer, actually the company customer, and then we need to keep this ship to. So I don't have this checked, and then I go in here and I search for Alacrity Allstate, and it clears out the ship to address.
Okay. That's something that I can look further into on my end.
Only thing I can think of, just trying to maybe do a workaround, would be going into the company, going into Alacrity Allstate, and I can't create a job from here, can I?
You cannot.
Okay. I can create a job from here. So if I create a job for Alacrity Allstate, keep that unchecked, and then I attach. Let's see. We don't have an address in here for them yet, so maybe that's part of our issue.
Yeah, if there's no address, you just have to, unfortunately, like copy and paste from the assignment.
I still have this unchecked, right? So if I have my new TBD, yep, Health Division.
Yeah, division, you'll need like a main phone number. And then you'll need that contact person and their main phone. And you actually can't type into that drop down.
Okay.
So you would have to go to the contact manager and add a contact person for Alacrity Allstate.
Putting their name in here won't add them?
What's that?
Putting their name in here will not add them?
That will, but you can't search, you can't type in that drop down where it
Okay.
says search a contact person. So you can add it there.
So now I guess I'm gonna have to scroll through here.
Mm-hmm.
pages. Let's see. Can I sort by this?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to find that. So now, yeah, so it still didn't populate it.
Yeah, it won't populate it post, linking the assignment.
Okay.
So I can submit a feature request so that it doesn't remove that ship to address, but for now, probably just have to enter that manually, unfortunately.
Okay, that's a really big deal for us, because you can see in exact. This is just the last. So we're going to advance employees down. Every one of these that say ladder assist. At a minimum, all these that say ladder assist, we're going to have assigned most of them to this Alacrity, Allstate-Alacrity, as the customer. That's who we're billing.
Okay.
So that's a really, really big deal for us.
Right. No, I'll get that added and then just double check that there's no way that ship to will stay.
Yeah, that should be extremely doable. All right, so that was the one really big thing I wanted to get cleared up.
Okay. Yeah, no, and I'll be double checking on that for you, and then definitely let you know what we find there. And then in terms of exact analysis, all the information that syncs you're currently clear on, the dates, notes, documents, and photos.
Right.
Okay.
It's dates, documents, notes, and photos.
Yep. So notes are the only piece of documentation that will sync both ways. The note has to be public. If it is private, it will not sync to exact analysis. But if you did, change it from private to public, it would then sync. And then dates just changed in the fact that there used to be two dates that would override in exact analysis. Those no longer override. So it's now the first in wins. If it's entered first in dash, that's what will show in exact analysis. If it's first in exact analysis, no matter what you put in dash will not override that.
Right. So we're new enough to this that's not a change for us. So.
Okay. And then documents and photos, those are one-way manual sync. Photos will need to be in public albums. As long as they are, you'll just select the checkbox below the photos and then click link or export file.
Right.
Perfect. All right.
Melissa, any questions on that?
No, that all sounds good to me.
Perfect. All right, and then we'll move to Xactimate. So you guys use the desktop version?
Correct.
Okay. And you've been uploading the dash data reports?
Correct.
Awesome. And any issues there?
There were a couple of jobs that were not associated with our main vendor nationwide right now. They were through Allstate Alacrity SCN assignments that did not give me the dash export option.
Right. So what you can do with those is you can use the rough draft option. So obviously if dash data is available, we recommend using dash data. If that is not available, you can use the rough draft, and you can upload that the same exact way in upload estimate.
Okay.
So
Is there any rhyme or reason to that, or is it just going to happen on random assignments?
So it's certain profiles in Xactimate. They don't allow for data.
Okay.
That's up to them. So anybody that will allow us to use dash data, we use, but some don't.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's makes sense. I just didn't know where, like I said, which ones it was. If they were going to pop that at me.
No. So it is all state. But when you are uploading that through upload estimate, so it says estimate PDF type, and it defaults to normal XML PDF.
Right.
If you're using a rough draft, you'll just switch to rough draft PDF, and you'll upload that here in the data estimate field.
Sounds good.
And then, have you been uploading final drafts as well?
I have not.
So you don't have to, but we recommend that you do, just as a readable copy of that estimate. So
since ours go through so many changes throughout the start to finish, what I had kind of had in mind with that is to upload a sort of final estimate at the end of our supplements.
Gotcha.
As that field.
Yep. You can do it. Some people will do what you do only once at the end, or some people will just use a final draft whenever they upload an estimate each time, because if you go to account or estimate tracker, there would be a little PDF icon next to whichever estimate that would say final draft, and that will be just a readable copy that will open in another tab. That way you can just see there, if you needed to pull it up and look at it to see what changed or whatever that may be.
Honestly, to track it that way, it's just easier to look at it through XActAnalysis than to do a double upload every single time.
Right. I completely understand.
Sure.
And then any other questions about Xactimate?
Yeah, that was really all that I had myself.
Oh, awesome. All right. And then do not use Symbility, correct?
No.
We are looking to get turned on for the one of the programs. I don't know if they use Symbility or not, but I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get to the Oriole services.
Right. I'm not positive on if they use Symbility, but if Symbility is something that you guys get, just reach out to us and we can get that set up and integrated for you.
Okay. Yeah, we're not using it right now.
Okay. I'm going to check these email settings.
Yeah, we have not been using that. So, question on resyncing kind of on the best practices and use cases. So, as I understand it, we can have emails automatically attached to jobs. But it's a best practice would be to have an alias that we would copy when we want to have a job attached.
So if you want to attach emails to jobs, there's a few steps that you need to take.
So we have a lot of back and forth. So having 60 back and forth emails, we don't want 60 attachments. We'd like to just, forward, send it to an alias, and then that is what will attach it.
Yeah, so what you would do is you wanted an alias, you would just probably set up a new, Gmail account. Is that what you use?
Right.
So you could probably just set up a new Gmail account and just have it be like Office or, just give it some name like that. Enter that in your email settings here. So then, in order to send those emails back into the system on a job, what you would do is here, I'm just going to use this as an example. In the to or the CC field, you would enter that Gmail address. So if it's office at whatever gmail.com, and then the subject line is just the job number followed by a : space. So as long as you have that, you would then send that email. It would show up here under more emails in your inbox.
Mhm.
You then click that checkbox and click mark as read, and that will add it to the job as a note.
Okay.
So yeah, a lot of people will create, their own, or a company-wide address, just so it's not, cluttering up their actual inbox.
Right. With a bunch of stuff that
Yep,
is repeats.
exactly.
Okay.
And then have you seen the email link for job at all?
I've seen that and meant to I recall it from training, but please update.
Yeah, so the email link for job, if you can just enter in your email address there, we'll send that to you. All right, perfect. Just send this. Oh.
I do get that error a lot when I'm uploading photos, and then I X out of it, and the photos are there. So I hadn't had an actual problem, but I do keep getting
Right.
an error message.
When you're uploading those photos, how many are you uploading at a time?
I've been trying it a couple different ways. For each job, we generally have about 100 photos, so I split it up into maybe 20 groups of 20, and then I tried doing it all at once. Haven't seen too much difference, to be honest with you.
Right. If you do get that, before you X out, please just reach out to live support. That way we can kind of look at it and see.
Yep, it showed up in my inbox.
Oh, perfect. So this email link for job, we do recommend that you send it to yourself first before sending it out to, if you're sending it to an adjuster customer. Okay. So it is restricted by Allstate, so that may be this reason.
Anything that's labeled claims is probably going to be Allstate then.
Yeah. So unfortunately,
Heads up on that.
yeah, Alacrity, that is currently, I believe.
So I had one last thing, and then we've actually had somebody.
Can you come back at 12?
Yeah, that's great. We're going to be done here at 10, so. We all, I'm good to go now, so I apologize for interrupting. I thought I was going to have to bounce. But are y'all, I missed the last little bit y'all were going through, but Mel, are you good on that?
Yeah, everything seems good to me.
Perfect.
Okay, so was there something up with emailing with?
So the email link for job, it's still restricted. It's restricted by Alacrity right now, so you won't be able to send that. Or by Allstate, but any other insurance carrier you will be able to send that dash view link.
Okay.
And we do recommend that you send it to yourself just because it does include all public notes and photos. So obviously you know, want to be sure that nothing is on there that you want private. And the link does update. So if you were to send it out to a customer today and throughout the week you've been uploading notes and photos and they clicked it again on Thursday or Friday, all of that will then be there for them to see.
From a workflow standpoint, we have, as you saw, so just on Friday we had all these come in, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when we're making it a habit to go in here and click and send them over so that they end up in our accept job bucket. And we're working through this initial. I went back to June to add all these in.
Mm-hmm.
So we're working through these, and what we have our other Alpha Scout, Joe, does the scheduling. So the mixed into these will be a couple of just inbound, non-exact based, we call them roof leads. And from a scheduling standpoint, if we get these in here, we get them accepted and their jobs, what should scheduling look like? In my opinion, there should be some kind of open jobs board where Joe can see the availability of all the people that could be scheduled, and then she can. I swear there's something you can click and drag a job to a person. Is that the case?
That's not something that I'm fully aware of. I will say that
Okay. Well,
scheduling, I'm not really the expert on that. I'm much more of just the integrations and setting those up and how they work. But have you had your Dash Check 360 with a member of our software consultants?
No, it's coming.
Okay, yeah, so they're all like very they're good with the software as well as they have the industry knowledge. So they'll be able to walk through the scheduling with you and getting that all set up. But unfortunately, I'm not really too savvy on the whole scheduling side of things.
Okay. I did have that call last Thursday with the guy that records all the videos.
Chad?
Chad, yes, Chad Flowers, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I had that call with Chad, so he said the thing. So.
Yeah, and if you need, I can reach out to someone and have them give you a call about scheduling.
He's our contact, so
okay. All right. And have you been using Internal File Builder at all to have documents and templates signed?
I've started. Our next step is to get the field guys uploading the photos and putting in their notes in the Dash. So we're going to do that first.
Okay.
And then I'm going to get these forms squared away. We feel like I was running these by Chad, and they're pretty complex. The ones we're trying to replicate. This would be one example of what I am trying to replicate in the form. So, not your everyday kind of deal, but I've done this kind of stuff before. So,
right. We don't create that. We won't create the templates, but if you ever do have questions on it, or it's showing up funky, feel free to reach out to us, and we can get those. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty impressed with this so far. I mean, most people that I see, they've got like 5 words and like a merge field. So yeah, so the fact that you got this far is very impressive.
Cool.
Yeah, so you'll just attach these. You'll attach these to the job, and they'll be able to fill them out, on their
Right.
mobile app or an iPad.
I was going to do workflow rules based off of insurance carriers. This particular one's Allstate. Maybe the insurance carriers Allstate, and they get this task with this form, and
Yeah.
they show up.
Perfect.
Yeah.
No, it looks great. Yeah, you guys have more than about 90% of the people I deal with, so.
Okay.
No, it looks great. So if you do have questions, like if when you are complete, and you preview it, just make sure that everything works on like a test job.
Oh yeah.
And then, if you do have any questions while you're creating them, feel free to reach out to our support team. They deal with file builder templates a good bit, just troubleshooting those, whether it's formatting or what. So, if you do have any questions on that. And have you used Word File Builder at all?
I have it installed. I have it set up, and I've gotten it connected.
Yeah.
I did actually. I was running into this.
Okay. Let me see. Sometimes.
I don't know if there's a trust issue inside of.
Could be.
That's what I was expecting. If you go to start, and then control panel, hover over control panel on the top right. There you go. There you go.
Oh, so that's there. If you can enter that for me. And then, unfortunately, we'll need to close out and restart Word. All right.
I tried to find something about the FTP inside the app, but
Yeah. Okay. Let me get that set up for you. I'll just have a member of our database team check that out real quick.
okay.
All right. So while he's looking into that, close that out. And then with Dash account, have you been syncing between QuickBooks and Dash?
Yes. So one of the questions that arose there, let me actually pull up the system that's installed on your server. So we've got it set up. One of the things that we personally would like to have is more automation so that we do not have to come in here and click import jobs. I could, I can think of a number of apps that I would use to try and automate that. Go through, run these scripts, and reproduce my actions here.
Right.
But have you seen others use something? Is there any best practices around that?
So currently, I haven't seen anyone use anything to automate it. A lot of the time, people will not. A lot of people want it automated, but at the same time, a lot of people don't want certain jobs imported, until a certain date or time. So that is one of the reasons that some people won't put in that effort to automate it. That may be a feature down the road with Dash Account, but you can have as many import-only Dash Account installations as you want. So what some people will do is...
Oh, really?
Yeah, so you can only have one full installation that both imports and exports. Yeah, so you can only have one export per company QuickBooks file because if you're exporting,
you want one record of truth.
Exactly. You could run into duplicates and those kind of issues. But import only, anybody in the company that has QuickBooks on their computer, they can have the import only installed. So what a lot of people will do is, they have somebody that's in charge of, creating the jobs in Dash, and they'll have them with import only. That way, if you do want that job, the second that it's created in Dash, you want it to import, you can just have them imported, import it right when they...
So, Melissa, did you hear that one? I don't know if she's still with us. So that's good to hear because Melissa wanted that ability to be able to come in, because this is two people logged into the same computer. So if we install Dash on her profile as import only, then while she's in her profile, which also has QuickBooks, then she can import something that she's just been before.
This is the same machine?
Same physical machine, different user profile.
Right. You can only have Dash Account installed once per machine, so probably wouldn't work on this same server.
Okay. We can't. Okay.
If she had it installed like locally on her computer, you could then have Dash Account installed there. Or if any other computer in the office has QuickBooks, you can get import only installed, but it can only be installed once per machine.
Right. She's got a back. I can probably. So I've got the network. So this is my local system. And I'm connecting to the network drive, which has the QuickBook file.
Yeah, so we could, if that's how you use it, like you open QuickBooks on your local computer, it's just on that network drive, we can install on your local computer. So if she has access that way as well, then we can do that.
All right, I can play around with that.
And you can have that installed at any time. So you can just log on to live support. You don't have that's not another meeting. So anytime you want to try that, just feel free to hop on.
Okay. So one thing on the sync. So when I was noticing there are So these were synced over,
Mhm.
and the last name is and Alice Payne. So I want to correct this. Where should I do that?
So you can do that. Really, what we match against in terms of syncing between Dash and QuickBooks is the job number. So you can change
Okay.
this name here.
Mm-hmm.
With that, if you change it here, but you don't change it in Dash to match, then you can't re-import the job. Now, the only reason you would really need to re-import the job is if like an address or phone number is changed. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so you can change that here in QuickBooks. That won't affect the sync.
What if I change it in Dash, though? Will that change it in here?
Yeah, so if you change it in Dash, it will, and you re-import it, it will update in QuickBooks.
Okay. So that's what I need to know. So update in Dash will sync. Update in Dash. Dash will update in on resync. Thank you.
And then you're not currently using timesheets in QuickBooks?
That's correct.
Do you run payroll in QuickBooks?
Yes.
Okay. So I was just going to see how how you're getting that labor figure from QuickBooks to Dash. Um, so
Yes. So this is this is pretty new for us. So I don't think we did it last week, but we have this expense account called subs. This is how I can find at least subcontractor. So this is for here. So if we look at Jesus was paid $33.90 this week, and we didn't do it. So the way I was telling her that we need to do it in the future is there needs to be items. Each item that this person is a roofer,
mhm.
and say this is so if I get something associated with an expense, I can enter in this item, and then I can associate the job, right?
Yep.
And that's how
And
if
that's
I
where,
associate a job, then and I put in an amount, then it'll sub up, it'll total up these.
yep,
So 21, and then say it's 1,000 for this one, then all of these she won't enter anything here,
hmm
and what'll still end up being paid is whatever the total is of all these.
correct. So depending or which bucket in job costing in Dash it gets sent to is based on the account name in QuickBooks. So even using items, it's what account those items point to. So for example, if
Should I use items or not?
what's that?
Okay, we're not tied to anything, so would it be a best practice to not use items,
No,
or
we definitely, I mean, items are definitely a good idea because it allows you to get more detail. But
okay?
with items, real quick, if I can just grab it
Yeah.
right here. Um, this item list here.
No, it's not good, not intro.
Okay. So for example, roof inspection. So it's a service, and if we were to just, I'm not going to change anything.
I understand.
Okay,
We
yeah, so
want to check that
perfect. Here,
box.
No, so that's
Yeah,
perfect.
go to residential for me, please.
Residential. So close out of
Yes,
this
sir.
one.
Yep. Right above that. Yep. I think the box is not checked there, so we need to check that box.
Correct. So that way it
Okay.
can be used. Okay, so you'll have to switch.
I can do it.
Okay.
Yep. But then associate the one with an expense account.
Exactly. And it's all based on, so what bucket that those items sync to is based on identifying words in the account name. So here, roof inspection. So you've got payroll expense is the expense account. So I'm just going to here, see which one was dash open in.
That one.
So page 22.
22.
Yep. So here are the list of identifying words that Dash Account looks for in the account name on where to sync those job costs. So since that item is pointing to a payroll expense account, it'll see that pay R and sync it to labor.
Okay.
So it reads right to left. So, if you had,
Right to left. Okay.
yeah, if you had payroll subcontractor, it would go to subtrade.
Okay.
So it's the one on the right.
Okay.
But yeah, so that item would work perfectly. It would show up under labor.
Okay. Got it.
Real quick, our tech said that he was able to get this figured out. So
maybe
just
log out, log back in.
Yeah, maybe just close out. Perfect. So here's one we've already got created.
Okay.
This is just basic job information. So here's where you'll create templates for things that you want to print out, or if there are still documents that you need like a physical signature for. You'll just create the template or document however you want. You can use tables, these text boxes if you want. And then just like internal file builder, you'll use these merge fields.
Okay.
When you're ready to save that template, you can't have spaces in the name, so you can just use underscores.
Got it.
You'll then open the template and select a job number. So you can type it in, or you can click the drop down and then select. Once that's been selected, the last step is to preview select job.
Okay.
And this will go through. Yep.
Got it. Cool.
So this is if you need to print something off, you can do that through Word File Builder.
So the Word File Builder, the things that I build in here, can those be used as fillable forms for text in the field?
They cannot. So it's two separate databases, internal and Word File Builder. So if it's something a tech needs to fill out on the job, it's probably best to use internal. Correct.
Got it. Okay. Good to know. I thought there were just two versions of the same thing.
Yeah, unfortunately, they're not at this point. I do think that would be great, but
it's all good.
And then other than that, are there any other questions you have about the integrations?
The biggest one for us, far and away, is the fact that when we select a customer company in a newly accepted job, that it does not retain the ship to address.
The ship to, right. Yeah, so I got that wrote down, and I'll be checking with a few people to see that, there's something I don't know, and if not, I'll create a request to have that. But either way, I'll let you know.
just to make sure the reason is that we actually bill
Yep.
Alacrity Allstate for that, and then we need to know where to go for the actual job.
Right. Yep, absolutely. So I'll get that answer to you. I'll actually be sending you this recording this afternoon. So
Okay.
I'll let you know and update you on that. But other than that, if there are any other questions, just you'll have my email address. So reach out to me, as well as live support's here 24/7.
Well, thank you, man. I appreciate your time.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you. And hopefully you get to check out that eclipse today. And
Yeah. Don't go blind.
yeah, I'm going to try not to, but we'll see. All right. Well, have a good day, and reach out if you have anything.
Yes, sir. Take care.
Have a good day.